All right, and we are recording. So, hello, I am Jen Wheeling, and Shannon, I'm glad for you to join us. Thank you for including us in your dinner preparations tonight. I'm just very glad you're here. So I hope to have some fun with you guys and to share some really cool information about oils. I want this to be very conversational, so please feel free to just jump in at any time. I will not feel interrupted. Um, I would rather have that and than me just talk and talk and talk and not have any kind of interaction. So I'm really glad you're here. Everybody who participates in this class gets 10 oil drops, which are kind of like brownie points toward the grand prize. And I'll be tallying those up, and we'll hope to post a winner in the next couple of days. And I want to thank Tori for hosting this party. And I'll be talking to you, Tori, about how to get your goodies. So we're going to cover 3 basic ways to use essential oils, 6 health situations that a lot of people are dealing with right now, and 3 cool things about essential oils. And like I said, please just jump in anytime, ask a question as you have them. And I work for doTERRA. I've been using doTERRA oils for 7 years now, hard to believe. And I just want to preface what I'm saying with that. What I'm going to say about oils, in particular to doTERRA essential oils, because the essential oils you find out, like I call them grocery store oils, the oils that you see out everywhere, TJ Maxx or whatever, these are not the same. They are not, they're more of a fragrance product than anything else, and can be unsafe in a lot of situations. So just to clarify that before I get started. So the first cool thing about doTERRA essential oils is that they're safe. They're just pure essential oils with no side effects or addictions. They're safe for babies, children, the elderly, and they're even safe for your pets. They're extracts from plants that have amazing health benefits, and a pure essential oil is 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. For example, 1 drop of peppermint essential oil, this is one of my favorite oils. To get the peppermint that isn't 1 drop of this oil, it's going to take you 28 cups of peppermint tea to get the equivalent. So it's super, super concentrated. And for a bottle of lemon oil, which is another one of our very commonly used oils, it takes the peel of 45 lemons to get this oil in this one little 5 ml bottle, a 15 ml bottle, excuse me. So doTERRA is the company that I work with. They work with small growers all over the earth, all over the world to harvest these plants. They grow them, they harvest them where they grow indigenously. So you know that you are getting the purest, most potent essential oil that the market can provide. So they're really natural and safe. They're a more gentle way of taking care of we have someone else joining us. A more gentle way of taking care of our health. And with that said, it's super important that you know that they do come from a plant. You know how when a new product comes along, like think back to LuLaRoe leggings just a few years ago, how big they were. They hit the market and then boom, leggings were the sensation, and they pop up everywhere. You see them market for a good while, but then you started seeing them in department stores, and then even in grocery stores. I mean, they were everywhere. So knockoffs were happening, and knockoffs are fine as far as clothing and accessories go. But when it comes to something that we're using for health purposes, knockoffs are not good and they're not safe. So these oils are being produced. These knockoff oils are being produced for smell purposes. And it's more, like I said earlier, a perfume or a fragrance to make your house smell good. So it's actually something that's not necessarily very good for us. So it's, like I said, more like a fragrance product. So we want to make sure that if we are going to work with essential oils, that we work with really pure true essential oils so that they are safe and good for our health. Now, a lot of people are skeptical about essential oils, and it's because they're buying oils from places like maybe Bed Bath and Beyond or TJ Maxx, or you see them everywhere, Walmart, the grocery store, wherever. Um, they're buying these oils, they're putting them on, and they're not really having any effect on them. So, of course they're not, because they're not quality oils. They're probably, when I look at the prices on these oils, and they're very, very cheap. And that tells me right away that it's synthetic. These oils are produced in a lab, and they're not taken from plants. They're not pure. They're not natural. So that's the first cool thing about doTERRA essential oils, that they are natural and safe. And the second cool thing about doTERRA essential oils is that they're super effective. We have really great high quality essential oils. So when you use them, they have an immediate impact on your body, and you can feel better right away. Some of us, we all have annoying health issues that pop up from time to time, or maybe even every single day. So we had the little Family Feud game in our party group on Facebook, and I noticed backache, headache, knee ache. There were lots of different aches. Or maybe we don't sleep well at night, or maybe our kids are getting sick all the time, or maybe we once upon a time got in a car accident and we still have that one muscle that hurts us when the weather turns a certain way. We all have annoying stuff that pops up, and we do a lot of different things to try to help ourselves feel better. If we're feeling tired, we might go out to Starbucks and buy a giant frappuccino to give us that jolt in the afternoon, or we're popping over-the-counter medications for those headaches that we have all the time, or we take pain relievers, or use chemical-filled rubs to make our back and neck pain feel better. So we're always grabbing and looking for things that try to make us feel better, but they don't always serve us very well. Obviously, drinking a giant frappuccino with 1,000 calories in it every day is not good for your overall health. So I think, you get it, you're with me. So essential oils are super effective. I want to share peppermint, which I talked to you about, just mentioned a minute ago. And where did my peppermint go? There it is. So 1 drop of peppermint, I just put 1 drop in my hand, rub my hands together. And I wish everybody was with me in person, because I'd pass my ball around and have everybody do this. And you just cup your hands over your nose and mouth, and you just breathe in. And then you immediately feel your sinuses opening up. You can take what's left on your hands and put on the back of your neck, and you'll feel an immediate cooling effect. Maybe put it over your forehead, and it freshens. It makes you feel refreshed. And of course, when it opens up your airways, you're taking in more air, which boosts your energy. And you can even, what I often do is just put a drop on the back of my hand and lick it off. Instant breath freshener. And again, you have that aromatic quality. It's opening up, and it's an instant boost of energy. And that 1 drop of peppermint only costs 8 cents, around about 8 cents, as opposed to $5 or $6 for that big, huge coffee drink. So I would rather pay 8 cents, have my bottle of peppermint and get my immediate relief. And then I'm good to go for a little bit longer in the afternoon. I'm really bad that 2:00 afternoon slump. I'm just sort of staring off into space. So this is much lower calorie, and it won't cause my pant size to go up to a size that I don't want it to. So, has anybody in here ever used peppermint before? I know Tori has. So I can't remember the 2 of you who were also with us, thinking back to some of your comments. So as to what kind of essential oil users you are, or if you've never used essential oils. So just, if you just popped on, Sarah, you just popped in. I just want you to feel free to jump in, conversate, ask questions, comment as I go along. Don't worry about interrupting. I want this to be as conversational as possible. So if you want to see, so that's how you can see how an oil has an immediate effect on the body. Headache. I know Tori has, dealt with
Terrible.
terrible, terrible migraines.
Yep.
But for just your common headache, just putting a little oil on the temples or wherever it is on your head that the oil, or that you feel the pain, the oil is going to take care of it very quickly, and you can just go on about your day. And I promised in one of my comments in our party group that I would share how to help a migraine. And you just take it a little bit step further. Frankincense is a great anti-inflammatory oil. So what you would do, you would use it in conjunction with the peppermint, and you would just take the frankincense, which I have here somewhere. Here it is, your frankincense. And I put a drop on my thumb and I rub it on the soft palate, where the roof of your mouth starts running to the back of your throat. And you just rub it in there for a few 30 seconds or so. And then you put the drop of peppermint under your tongue. Give it 15 minutes. And if you need to, redo it again. You're not going to overdose on essential oils. Like I said, they are safe. But I just want to share that it's made a huge difference for people who suffer from migraines, knowing that little trick. And it is best to do it early on, when you feel the migraine coming on, as opposed to being right in the throes of it. So just a little fun fact to know and tell that I hope helps people. So the third thing I want you to know, the cool thing about essential oils is they're really affordable compared to other ways that we tend to take care of ourselves. So if you're feeling tired, you have a choice. You can do the Frappuccino for 1,000 calories, or you can do the quick drop of peppermint oil. If you don't have oils, oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I have notes that I have to adhere to strictly because I tend to go down rabbit holes, and we could be here all night. So I sometimes lose my place on my notes. So just bear with me. So another problem as far as how economical essential oils can be. Does everybody in here have a kiddo? I have 3 boys, 13, 11, and almost 10. And I'm sure you've had some point they come into you at night, they're tugging on their ear, their ear is hurting them. I did not have essential oils when my kids were this age. So I wish I did, because I had to go the hard route, which I'm going to talk about. So if you don't, let's play the scenario through without essential oils. So your kid comes to you in the middle of the night, they're tugging on their ear, you can tell they're in pain, it's hot. And, what can you do for them? You maybe give them some Tylenol, try to get them to go back to bed, you try to comfort them the best that you can. And then you're thinking ahead to the next morning, you're going to have to call off work, make a doctor's appointment, the whole rigmarole. So with essential oils, here's the scenario. You take a drop of tea tree oil. Everybody's heard of tea tree, I'm sure. You take a little piece of, take a cotton ball, take a little piece off of it, put a drop of tea tree in there, and place it with the drop side down inside the ear canal. You don't want to put the oil directly in the ear canal. And what that tea tree will do is it will diffuse down into the ear canal, and it will break up what it is that is causing the problem. And most times, the child's going to wake up feeling fine the next day, and it's a non-issue, and you don't have to call off work, and you don't even have to go to the doctor. The tea tree has gone in there and done what it's supposed to do, and it happens very quickly, next day, and we just go on, and life is good, and we don't have all the stress of taking off from work and all that stuff. Not to
I
mention,
wrote that one down, Jen. My
what's
boys
that?
don't have problems with their ears, but my niece does all the time. And that's exactly what happened. She ends up with some sort of, infection-like symptoms, but it really just comes on like an ache
Right.
and a pain, and they never actually do anything for it. She just ends up staying home with Tylenol in a couple of days,
Right.
and then she goes back to school. So I think that would be a great solution for her.
Exactly. And, not to mention doctor copays, prescriptions, and the gas and time that it takes to drive all around to these places. So lots to consider there. And you consider the tea tree.
Especially now, you don't want to take your kid to the doctor unless you absolutely have to, and you don't want them to miss school.
Exactly.
Sarah and Shannon are teachers. Shannon has 3 boys, and Sarah has a daughter and a son. So they're very familiar with the woes of child rearing and
Right.
being around sick kids all the time at work too. So
Yeah. So like I said, and I did not have oils in my life at that time, and it would have been such a godsend if I had, but I guess better late than never. I can help them with lots of other things now, and which I will talk about here coming up in a few minutes. All right. So, and plus, once you get them on an antibiotic, there can be all kinds of side effects with that. That wreaks havoc on their gut. Sometimes you have to get them on a probiotic. It's just, you know. So it's a pretty big process to have to deal with for what could have been stopped early, quickly, before it got to be a big problem at all. So, tea tree also is a great one for blemishes. It's just a great oil it takes care of what I just call really nasty, unhappy situations that are gunky and need to be cleared up. So what it can do for a pimple, it can also do for, what's causing the pain in the ear. And you don't have to wait for it to turn into a full-blown infection. And just like the peppermint, the tea tree is only about 8 cents a drop. So essential oils, they're safe and effective. They have an immediate impact on the body, and they are super affordable. So those are the 3 cool things about essential oils. Now let's talk quickly about how to use them. What do you do with all these little bottles of oil? Well, it's actually pretty easy. You don't have to know what every single oil is good for. All you need to know is how to use them, because you're going to have a good thing to have is a good resource book. And this is my favorite one, the Essential Life book. It does focus specifically on doTERRA oils. And as you can see, it's a good size hardback you can look up anything. You look up ailments, you can look up the oil and see what it's good for. It addresses systems of the body as far as oil usage. It's just very comprehensive, different recipes and all kinds of things, even stuff for cleaning your house, how to clean your house naturally. So it's a great resource. Let's see. Okay. So there's really just 3 ways to use essential oils. The first way is just to breathe it in, and that was what we call aromatic use. It can be as simple as just, here's a bottle of Breathe, which is our respiratory support oil. And it can just be just as simple as taking the top off and taking a big sniff. And also, in the right place. Like lavender. You can put it in your hands just like I did. Sometimes we just need to calm the heck down. So all we have to do is just take a drop of lavender, which we all know has very common properties, and do just like I did with the peppermint earlier. Just rub it in your hands, take a deep breath, rub it on the back of your neck. And I know we often think of lavender as with sleep, but if it can also be used as a calming oil throughout the day. You can also, for aromatic use, you can use a diffuser. I have mine running right now. I have in mine thyme, rosemary, and lemon, because that combination helps with memory. And this time of day, I'm not at my best. My brain's tired, and I often lose my words. So this is just it helps with focus. So we'll see how well this works for me tonight. But it can run for up to 10 hours a day, and it's good for kind of ninja oiling your family members. Maybe you have kids who need help focusing on their homework. Maybe your spouse comes home grumpy from work, and you can put some good citrus oils in there because those are always mood boosting. So it's kind of, you're giving everybody the benefit, and they don't even realize you're doing it. My kids, that's the only way. They fight the essential oils for some reason. I guess it's just the age where they're so stubborn. They didn't when they were smaller, especially my 13-year-old. It's not cool. He didn't want to go to school smelling like essential oils. But anyway, so that's how we use oils aromatically. You can put it, like if you wear a scarf, you can put a drop on your scarf. And you can even, right nowadays, I use oils on the inside of my mask because, there's always mask breath sometimes. And just it kind of helps put a calming oil in there, because I think wearing masks, they make me feel claustrophobic if I have to keep one on for a long time.
Yeah.
So I just try to make the oils work for me in that respect too, with my mask wearing.
Hey, Jen.
Yeah.
I've got another participant pinging me saying that the link is telling her she has to wait for the host.
Oh, I'm sorry. Someone else trying to get in.
And I said, the rest of us are in. I asked her to try it again because it should just let her in. But she said that she was like, waiting. So she's going to try again and ping us back here.
Okay. I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for her, because it does it alerts me when someone's in the waiting room, but I didn't see her.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
Okay.
Yeah, and I love the mask trick with the oils. Having some on the inside of your mask, it just makes it so much better. And like you said, if you need calming, go for the lavender. If you need a little refresh, go for the lemon or the peppermint.
Right.
Definitely makes a difference. And I'm sure you're going to get to the rollerball thing, but cheer and those are definitely my favorites too. I never leave the house without cheer.
Yeah, we do have an emotional. In fact, I have my cheer right here, and it's we call it our uplifting blend, and it's very citrusy and a little spicy, but we have an emotional aromatherapy collection too, which I'm sticking more with more basic oils tonight, just because there are so many we could talk about, but those are great oils. And we're living in such a stressful time where emotions are running high, so I'd be happy to share more information with you about those. And now I'm kind of paranoid that I'm leaving out this other participant. Okay.
Well, she hasn't come back to me yet, and I've got her in Facebook chat, so I'm sure she will if she continues to get stuck.
Just keep me posted and let me know.
And it's another Shannon.
Another Janet.
Shannon, yeah.
Shannon. Okay, I'll say I didn't see it. Good.
Hey, Jen.
Yeah.
When you were talking about rubbing it on your temples, was that peppermint also for the headache?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
You're welcome. All right. So there's lots of ways you can use oils aromatically. Diffusing is really good for using at nighttime. If you're one of those who has trouble sleeping, or maybe you're having, for relieving stress, maybe your sleeplessness is caused by stress. The oils can help you to sort of turn your brain off at night a little bit. And I'll get more into that here in a few minutes. Or if you have junk in your chest, diffusing, you can diffuse for your lungs. Concentration, like I said, you can kind of tailor what's in your diffuser for whatever need that you have. And the second way we use oils is topically. You can actually put them directly on your skin. If your knee is hurting you, you can put the deep blue, or deep blue is our go-to oil for pain. And there's lots of oils for pain, but this is just sort of the go-to, just kind of like lavender, sort of the go-to for sleep. This is our go-to for pain. You can put it right where it hurts and rub it in. If your stomach hurts, you can grab our digestive blend. It's called Digest Zen, and rub it on your tummy. And you should get quick relief for that. So just you grab an oil, you put it on your area of concern, and you go on and take care of that issue and put it where you need it. The third way we use oils is internally. Now, not all oils, even doTERRA oils, are not okay for internal use. Most companies, like I mentioned, have the knockoff products, and they are not safe I wouldn't even use them topically, to tell you the truth. But so the first rule of thumb, doTERRA has made it very easy. So for example, Balance, which is one of our calming blends. See that? It is not safe for internal use. And here's how you can tell the difference. Frankincense, which is safe for internal use, if you will look right here, I don't know if you can see it real well. See the supplement facts on the bottle? If an oil has supplement facts on it, that means the FDA has deemed it safe for internal consumption. So I just look for the supplement facts, just like the nutritional value. It looks very similar to that. So then you know it's okay for internal use. The first rule of thumb when it comes to internal use, like I said, read that bottle. But let's say you have some tummy issues going on and the Digest Zen that I told you about, you rubbed it on your tummy and it didn't quite cut it for you. Well, then you can just take maybe a little shot glass, fill it with some water, put a drop of the Digest Zen in there and just drink it down really quick. And that's going to be a more direct route to your issue. And some people need that more direct route and taking it internally. If you don't like the way oil tastes, and they are, like I said, they're so concentrated, so they do have strong tastes, you can use what we call a veggie cap. And it's just a empty gelatin capsule that you can take apart and put a few oils in and just take it, and you don't have to experience the taste. And some of our oils already come in like a soft gel, so that if they're already made up for you. But these I use quite often, and they're just very nice to have because some of the oils, like I said, I don't like the Digest Zen taste. I mean, I can stand it, but I prefer not to taste it. And actually, Digest Zen is one of those that does come already made up as a soft gel. There's quite a few. So, 3 ways to use it. Use essential oils is aromatically, topically. Here we go. Here's Shannon. Hi, Shannon. Hey, Shannon, welcome. If you would just hit the little chat button, if you could leave me a comment, just so I make sure that I give you credit for being here, because it counts toward the grand prize, which I'll be announcing in a couple of days. So just make sure you drop me a little one-liner in the chat. All right, so now I'm gonna, more than any other part so far, I'm gonna need your input on some things, because we're gonna talk about 6 major issues that a lot of people are struggling with, especially right now, this crazy time that we're living in. And the first one is energy and focus. How many, just show me a show of hands, folk have a struggle with energy and focus? Like I told you, 2 o'clock in the afternoons when I hit my wall, I'd rather take a nap, but we have some tricks for that. So with energy and focus, you find yourself just sort of staring at your computer screen. You can't get your work done. So peppermint, like I mentioned earlier, peppermint, breathe it in, put a little bit on the back of your neck. The coolness is going to wake you up. The fact that it's the menthol in it will really help open up those sinuses, and you're breathing deeper, which increases your energy. It wakes the brain up. And citrus oils, we have a great little blend. It's called Citrus Bliss, and it's tangerine and bergamot, wild orange, and it has a little hint of vanilla. It kind of smells like those orange dreamsicles, if you remember those. So it's really good for anxious feelings. Citrus oils are very uplifting. They help you feel more alert and happy, and they're good for energy. And they're actually an immune booster too. So I like to do a little duo with the peppermint and the citrus together when I need a good energy boost in the afternoon. And that's actually, you can make roller bottles. Roller bottles look like this, have the little, the roller. They are oils blended with fractionated coconut oil, which is just coconut oil with a molecule taken out so it stays in liquid form. It's super absorbent. It doesn't have any smell to it. And it's just a really good, it makes your oils go further, so they can cover more surface area, and they actually lock the oils into your skin. Essential oils like to evaporate out into the atmosphere. So this helps it lock into your skin and actually saves you some money with your oils. So since we're talking about energy, I have to mention this because I would be doing a disservice if I didn't. And I know you came here to learn about essential oils, but doTERRA is a total wellness company. And something that's made the biggest difference for me as far as energy goes is our lifelong vitality pack. It's our vitamin pack. And it's helped a lot of people get off medication. And it does 3 things. It helps with chronic pain, it helps with energy, and it helps with supporting your mood. And if I had to pick one doTERRA product, if I was on a deserted island and I could only take one doTERRA product with me, this would be the one that I would take. Also, does someone have a comment?
Yeah, just me saying, really? Wow.
Sure enough.
Okay.
And they're bioavailable, so they're not synthetic like most vitamins on the market. You know, most vitamins, when you take them, it turns your pee bright yellow. That's because your body can't absorb the synthetics, so it just flushes them out. And it doesn't happen with these oils. I mean, these vitamins. And the 3-pack. I mean, we have the fish oil, the omega-3 6-9s, and then we have one that is for cellular support, which helps support brain health as well. So that's something, it's a good foundation for your overall health. So if you're not on a good vitamin, I invite you to check it out. I can give you some more information on them. And it's a no-risk product. This is the only product doTERRA offers a 30-day money back, no risk. You could take the whole thing and say it didn't do what you said it would do for me, and they'll give you your money back. So check that out. Now we talked about energy and focus. Let's kind of go to the other end of the spectrum and talk about sleep. How many of you are having trouble with sleep? Yeah, I've been having a lot of trouble with sleep. Even with my oils, I've kind of had to amp up what I'm doing at nighttime to help me sleep a little better. But a lot of us, especially right now, are struggling with sleep. It's miserable when we have to struggle with sleep and be tired all day and just be thinking about how can we catch a few quick Z's to get us over the hump. And sleep is also very, very important to our basic health. So it's very important that we do get good sleep. So our go-to for sleep, which I mentioned earlier, it is lavender. Now I will say up front, lavender is not my sleep oil. It's always hard for me to see what my camera is showing, but lavender is our go-to for sleep. But most people, this does do makes a big difference as far as sleep goes. You can diffuse it in your bedroom at night. You can put a few drops on the bottom of your feet. You can graze a drop across your pillowcase. Kind of setting the tone for sleep at night, just making your bedroom into a relaxing atmosphere, running that diffuser could make a huge difference for you. We also have our restful blend, which is called Serenity. It has lavender in it, but it also has some other calming oils and ylang-ylang, and it has a little hint of vanilla in it as well. So it's kind of like if lavender is not quite doing it for you, it's combined with some other relaxing oils to help with that too, help with your sleep. Now, we are all very, very different and have different body chemistries. So if you get the lavender or the Serenity and try it and it's just not really helping me sleep, don't be discouraged. It just means you need to keep looking for that particular, the sleep oil that is your sleep oil. It took me a while to find mine. Think of it like this. If you go to your doctor and he or she prescribes you with something and it's supposed to do X, Y, Z, whatever, and you go home and you take it, and after a few days, it's not giving you the desired effect, you're not going to write off medication as not working, as invaluable, as something that's very silly, as some people say essential oils are. What you're going to do instead, I would guess, would be call your doctor up and say, listen, that medicine didn't work for me. I think we need to try something else. And it's just the same way with essential oils. You just have to keep trying. And there's lots of sleep oils. There is a blend. We have a Balance, which I mentioned to you. It's a frankincense blend, and it has wood oils too. It's called our grounding blend. I have a friend who says this just knocks her out more than any kind of sleeping pill or anything she's ever tried. So that's Balance. It could be a combo of Balance and Serenity, or Balance and lavender. There's all kinds of possibilities out there. How many of you are familiar with CBD? It's kind of like LuLaRoe leggings. They were popping up everywhere, and now you see CBD oil. I mean, I've even seen it in gas stations. It's just everywhere. And it's supposed to be a magical cure-all, or there's a lot of science behind it, and it does do really great things. Three main things are what have learned that people are using CBD oil for, and that's sleep, anxious feelings, and pain. And a lot of people have asked if doTERRA is going to produce a CBD oil. But there is actually, some ethical issues and possibly even some legal issues behind CBD, just because, like even with decaffeinated coffee with the caffeine taken out, there's still going to be trace amounts of the caffeine in there. And with the CBD oil, even though the THC has been taken out, there's still trace amounts. So I've heard that, over time, if you're a regular user of CBD oil, enough can build up that you could flag a drug test. So that's just something to consider. And there's another thing, CBD oil is very expensive. So what doTERRA did is they said, we're going to find another plant, find a plant that works on the body the same way. And they did. And it's called copaiba. And it's, I've heard it also pronounced copaiba, but I say copaiba. And it is a tree that grows in South America. And it works on the body. The endocannabinoid system is what CBD oil works on. And copaiba also works on the endocannabinoid system of the body. And it is great for sleep and for anxious feelings. And it's also an awesome anti-inflammatory. So it's great for pain relief. And it has a ton of health benefits. But there are no ethical issues. It's not going to flag a drug test. And it's only $35 a bottle instead of paying, upwards of $150 for a good bottle of CBD oil. So it's a more affordable option. And I like to mention copaiba here because it is a great sleep oil. I do take copaiba, I take copaiba soft gels at nighttime for sleep, along with our Serenity soft gels. And this is an herbal complex. It's not just our Serenity blend oil in a soft gel. It's an actual herbal complex. And I take these two together, and it does a really good job with helping me sleep. And I'm one of these, I used to have to take prescription sleeping pills, so I don't anymore.
Dennis, Tori, can I chime in for a sec?
Yeah.
Can you hold up just I don't care, pick one, your average bottle?
Mhm.
I wanted to tell the group that, and that one's a soft gel bottle, but even the oils, like the bottles are not big, as Jen was showing you. They're pretty small, but because of the concentration of the oils, I think I mean, my initial pack I bought from Jen, it's been what, 2.5, 3 years now, I think, since I got my first round of oils and got more after that. But I think I finished 2 bottles so far. Like,
Mm.
I'm not as avid a user as Jen by any stretch, but they last a long time because they're so concentrated. You don't need a lot at a time. So I just wanted
Are
to
you talking about the soft gels or the oil?
just a regular oil, that bottle there.
Here's an
So
oil bottle. This is our
yeah,
15 ml. Yeah.
it only, it's only a drop or two at a time that you're using. And, as Jen said, it might be 8 cents for this one or 10 cents for that one per drip. But those drops, just like the drops we're all earning by being here right now, they they last a really long time, those bottles. So I wanted to put that plug in while I was thinking about it because they really do last. And you when I first saw the bottles, I was like, well, how long could that possibly last me? But I use peppermint a lot, and I use lemon a lot, and I use cheer a lot. And those bottles, they really do last. So
That's a very good point.
it's a
Yeah.
good value for the
So,
price.
and your basic bottle has 250 drops in it. So
250 drops.
right.
It's a lot.
That's 250 doses.
Yeah.
So thank you for making that point. Okay, so copaiba, it can help with sleep. It can also help with the anxiety. It can also help with pain, just like the CBD oils. But like I said, it's a much more economical alternative to that. So, but sometimes, like everything else, diffusing is not enough, or sometimes the topical use of the oil is not enough. So taking it internally, copaiba, like I said, it also comes as an oil. You can drop it under your tongue. I like the convenience of the soft gels. So it's just a matter of preference. So we've talked about energy and we've talked about sleep. Um, Copaiba is also, like I said, it's a good, it can be helpful with your sleep. It can be helpful with stress. And stress and anxiety are, I think, are two of the main emotions that we're experiencing in 2020. I don't even have to ask for a show of hands because I think we've all been stressed out by COVID-19. The social distancing is just that's my big stressor. I'm a people person. I'm a hugger and I can't do that stuff right now. And it's killing me. So, I know I'm not alone. And our kids, they're stressed, whether we realize it or not, they're stressed. And we all, we need to give ourselves and our kids the emotional support that they need, and to keep ourselves from getting in those really stressed out, places that we can get ourselves into. And it helps to balance us out throughout our day. And I'm not going to say it's going to make you feel like you're floating on a cloud with no cares whatsoever. The biggest difference I can say is I can tell a huge difference from the days that I remember to use my stress oils and the days I don't. And it's usually the days that I need them the most or the days I forget to use them because I'm distracted. My brains is on everything else. But just using them when I get up, having them with me to apply in the afternoon, wherever I may be, and just it keeps you more level instead of just getting super freaked out. So back to sleeping, the sleep oils that I talked about, whatever oil is not your sleep oil, you can also use to help calm you down throughout the day. But once you do find your sleep oil, try to use it just for sleep because that's a technique called anchoring. It's so your body recognizes that oil as your sleep oil, and it's a highly effective technique. So we also, for stress, just last year, we came out with the adaptive blend. And so one of you girls who was our winner of the sample today, I can't remember. I've been.
So it's Sarah Schick, who's not with us.
Okay. Well, Sarah won a sample of our adaptive, and it was created primarily for anxious feelings. And it comes in a herbal complex too, as a soft gel. This has made a huge difference for me. I take the soft gel every morning when I wake up. I also use the oil. And when I use the oil, let me just read you some of the oils that are in it because everybody tells me how wonderful I smell when I use this oil. So it has wild orange, lavender. It has copaiba in it, which really I don't think smells like much of anything. Spearmint, magnolia, and rosemary, and neroli. Neroli is from the blossom of a particular orange tree. So it just, has that little bit of floral in there too. And it smells so good. So what I do with this is, and it also comes in a roller, but I'll just put a little bit, I'll smell it and put a little on my neck, on the back, on my throat, and a little bit on the back of my neck. And it's one, if I have a scarf on, I'll put on my scarf as well. But other people like it too. So, everybody likes to be told they smell good. Plus it's helping you calm down, which is even more important. So citrus oils are also great for stress. Citrus bliss that I mentioned earlier, and lemon, they're good to diffuse throughout the day. If you happen to work or be in a situation where you can run your diffuser, it's great to do that. We have the adaptive capsule, like I mentioned, and it's safe to take internally. I'm sorry. Yeah, the copaiba is safe to take. All right. So just remember, a lot of people, like I said, fall into the habit of using their stress oils really when they feel stressed. And that's probably the worst thing you can do. So just try. The hardest thing about essential oils is remembering to use them throughout the day. Just one application in the morning is probably not going to carry you through the whole day. So you want to reapply. And that's what most people have the greatest difficulty was just remembering to keep them on them so that they can use them so that they can get the greatest benefit. All right, now shifting gears a little bit. Let's talk about aches and pains because I know we all have those. We talked about a little bit earlier when we talked about the headaches and the peppermint, but deep blue, as I mentioned earlier, is our go-to. It comes in a rub as well. And some people like to put the oil on first and then lock it in with the deep blue rub, which is the deep blue in a lotion form. They can also add a little bit of frankincense to it because it has amazing anti-inflammatory properties. But the thing about deep blue, it does work, it's great, but it doesn't, most people say it's great for about half an hour to an hour. Some people say longer, but the biggest complaint I get is it just doesn't last like all day long. And again, with oils, you do have to reapply. But we have like the copaiba. If you take it orally on a regular basis or take the soft gels, they can make a huge difference with pain. I had a friend who had major surgery done, did not want to take any kind of prescription painkillers. And that's what essentially got her started on the oils was the copaiba. And that's the only thing that she took. She was told that she would probably be in a wheelchair for close to a year as she recovered from this surgery. And she said she never had to use the wheelchair. She did have to use a walker for a couple weeks, but the copaiba was the only thing that she used for pain. So I'm blessed I haven't had to put it to the test like that, but I do take her word for it. All right, so next up is immune support. So living in the age of the virus, immunity support is huge. So there are quite a few oils for immune support, but our go-to, and this is my life-changing oil, it's called On Guard. And I'm going to talk to you about my personal experience with On Guard, but just to give you a little description of it, it smells like Christmas in a bottle. It's very clovey and cinnamony, and it's great for immunity support. So if you're getting sick all the time, or your kids are getting sick all the time, or maybe you're just worried about getting sick, this is a great oil to have. Diffusing On Guard every day is super helpful. I start the day my kids start back to school, normal school year. I start diffusing this all the time. And I put it in my kids' rooms at night and diffuse it in their rooms at night. But this is always diffusing in my house, pretty much this time of year. You can count on it. You could make a roller bottle of it with some fractionated coconut oil and roll it on the bottoms of your feet. I have a cousin who's a teacher. On Guard was her gateway oil because she was getting sick with everything that her students came in her classroom with. She's kind of strange, love her to death, but she doesn't like the smell of On Guard. So she did the roller bottle and put on the bottoms of her feet, and she'd do it every morning and every evening. But we also have an On Guard soft gel as well, and she would take that. And she preaches about it like I do and stays healthy.
I do love that one too. Like, it does have a unique smell. I love the smell. My boys don't like the smell.
Really?
So I diffuse it when they're not in the room with me.
Right.
I tried diffusing it in their room at night, like Jen does for her boys, and they don't like it. But if they're sick, I do it anyway. They can't really smell it then. And I do think it helps. If for no other reason, it helps me feel better that I'm doing everything I can to
You're
help
being
them.
proactive.
Right.
I guess you could sneak in after they fall asleep and turn it on.
Right. I just wait till they're tucked in and it's dark in there, push the button and leave.
There you go.
It
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of making it a part of your routine and remembering to use it. I've been putting it on my chest and my throat anytime I leave the house. I put it on the inside of my mask. And you can take it internally. We have a hand sanitizer. We have toothpaste, laundry detergent, all a foaming hand wash. Lots of different ways to get that immune support in your system. So we talked about tea tree earlier when we talked about the ear infections. It's also a good immune booster. It's really good for your lungs. Lemon is a good immune booster, and it's great for disinfecting your house and making it smell really fresh. It's also good for allergies. and drying up mucus when you have, coughs and colds and things like that. I like to put it in my drinking water. I always have some kind of oil in my water, but if you use and it helps me drink more water. As a matter of fact, I'm not a good water drinker, but I put a little bit of citrus oil in there, gives me that little essence. But if you do use citrus, make sure you use either stainless steel or glass, because um, citrus is a natural detoxifier, and it'll break up the toxins that are in your system. It'll also break up the petrochemicals that are in your plastic and actually leach that into your water, and you don't want to drink that. So just remember.
One of my favorite things from my first meeting on oils with Jen was she came to the house and we had a couple people over and she said, "Do you have a glass pitcher?" And I'm like, "Sure." So she's like, "Well, I was just going to put out some ice water." I'm like, "Just ice water?" She goes, "Well, it'll have something special in it." And she put the lemon in it. And I am notoriously not a drinker. Like, I'll go all day and not drink anything. And so I have kidney stones and all these other things associated with dehydration. And I had that lemon water and I was like, "Oh my God, where has this been?" Because not only does it make the water less boring, but something about the lemon, have always loved lemon. And I'm like, it's just perfect because who has fresh lemons all year round? Nobody. But it has that same pop to it and it makes it so refreshing to drink the water that's one of the other ones that I always have because I love to diffuse it. I love it in the water. And the scent of it, it's just so fresh. And that's usually the thing I have diffusing, especially in my kitchen, just because it gives that, I don't know, it definitely is uplifting and refreshing. So that's got to be in my top 3 for sure.
Have you had any kidney stones since adding?
I have not had any. Knocking on wood.
It can help break them down.
Yeah, I have not had any.
Awesome.
It's miraculous. I mean, for years I had them. And they told me I'm a stone producer. I will always have them. I have not had any.
Oh, good.
So,
yay.
Hey, I don't know. Could be coincidence, but hey, I know it helps me drink more water, so it's got to help.
We need that. We all need that. Awesome. Thanks for that testimonial.
Yeah.
Another good immune boosting oil is oregano. And that is, it's a very powerful oil. If I take this internally, I'm using it in a veggie cap, or if I'm using it topically, it goes on the bottoms of my feet. It has such a strong smell. I mean, we think of oregano like in our Italian sauces and stuff, but that's the herbs. And this is just super concentrated. Oregano, it's a very powerful antiviral. It can remove warts. We've done it very effectively with all 3 of my boys. They've all at times had a wart here or there. My husband used it to get rid of some skin tags on the underside of his arm. And he just put a little bit on a Band-Aid and applied it right over the skin tag. And he was at work one day and the janitor was in his office sweeping and said, who has pizza in here? It smells like pizza. And then just that little bit on his Band-Aid was, smelling up his office. So he never commented on what was causing the pizza smell, but I like that story anyway. So lots of different oils to help us stay healthy. And, we want to be using oils. Oregano is one I use more retroactively, but the On Guard, I definitely am using proactively. So my final thing to talk about I'm sorry, Shannon, did you have a question?
I had it recommended to me that if you ever use oregano in food, to always use a toothpick.
Yes.
And I had spaghetti sauce that was way too
I'm not hearing you well. I'm going to turn you up just a little bit. There.
Noise, kids playing. It's very potent, like you said, and that toothpick trick is very helpful because I've ruined spaghetti sauce before.
Yes, I've been scared to even use it in cooking, but so I've not even done the toothpick thing. But you swear by it; it works fine.
Well, it just helps you not to overpower it.
Right. So that's a big statement about how powerful it is. For sure. Thank you for sharing that. All All right, so the last thing I was going to talk about digestive issues, tummy issues. When you have stomach issues on a regular basis, it's definitely no fun, but oils can help. I talked to you about Digest Zen earlier, which is our digestive blend. Now my desk is just a mess of oils. I can't find anything I'm looking for, but it has Digest Zen has a very, where'd it go? There it is, my little bottle of it. It has a very strong taste and smell because fennel is one of its main ingredients, which is very licoricey. So, I mean, it's not horrible. I kind of can tolerate the taste just because once I know it's getting down there, it does what it's supposed to do and it makes me feel a lot better. It's also great for motion sickness. You can just rub a little bit on the back behind your ears and it helps with motion sickness. But I mean, anything digestive related, diarrhea, constipation, heartburn, I mean, anything, this stuff can make a huge difference. So, and you can get it in a soft gel or you can make your own with the veggie caps that I mentioned earlier. And if digestion, if it's something you really want to help get better for yourself, there's two supplements that we have. One is our PB Assist, which is our probiotic, which if you're not taking a probiotic, you probably should be. But this is unlike any probiotic you're going to find in the stores. This actually, if you can tell, there's a capsule within a capsule. And the reason for that being is this green thing in the middle, it's being protected so that it does not just dissolve in your stomach acids and can actually make it through to your small intestines where it's really needed. So this is a really great probiotic, probably better than anything you're going to find out there. And it has, I don't know about the counts and everything, but it's good. It's good. And then another one that we have is our digestive enzyme called Terrazyme, which was a lifesaver for me. Back when I worked in an office setting, I used to dread meetings after lunchtime because I never knew what sounds my stomach was going to be making, depending on what I ate. But I don't have to worry about that anymore because I just take these. If I'm eating a meal that I don't handle very well, like high gluten or dairy, I just take this and I do fine. And really anybody over the age of 30 probably needs to be taking a digestive enzyme just because we kind of tend to slow down digestively and get a bit more sluggish. So this is a great thing. You can take it once a day, or if you, depending on what you eat, what your diet's like, you might need to take it 3 times a day. Fast food, you definitely want to take it more than once a day, but it's been a life changer for me as well. So are some things to help you digestively. Peppermint is also good to help with stomach upset. Ginger is good as well, but I just try to, like I said, for these classes, I just try to stick to the basics. So we have covered the 3 cool things about oils, 3 ways to use them, and 6 different health issues and how to use oils to address them. And what I want to finish up with is talking just a little bit about how to get the oils. So we have a lot of different oils, and I've only discussed a few tonight, some of the main ones, because I don't want to be too overwhelming. And it seems like so often people are like, can you give me a link so I can shop? But I've gotten away from doing that just because it's very overwhelming. If you're not sure where you want to start, you get that link and you're like, I don't know what it's like for me shopping for makeup. It's a totally overwhelming thing. And I need someone to help me. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I have posted a link to a quiz that I have. It's a Google Doc. And if you could fill that out, even if you don't want to buy oils, just fill that out for me, because that gives me a little bit of information about the people that I'm teaching to, like you. And it's just good for my personal knowledge. And I promise I won't take your contact information and bug you half to death. In fact, there's even a place to say I'm not interested, and just, my feelings won't be hurt. But if you would just fill that out, that does give me a little insight as to the issues that you're dealing with. And lets me know so that when I do talk to you, how I can go straight for it and talk to you directly about what oils are probably going to help you the best. Also, I could be like a personal shopper. I know the deals. I know our little bundles. So I'm like your deals girl, and I'm there to help you so you don't feel overwhelmed like you have to figure this out all by yourself. So just fill out the quiz and you're going to tell me what your biggest health issues are, and then we're going to go from there. And what I'll do is once I get your quiz, I'll reach out to Tori and I'll have her do a little three-way chat for us in Messenger. So that way, because since we're not friends on Facebook yet, you might not see any message that I try to send you. So if Tori's connecting us, um, you'll see me reaching out to you. And then Tori, you can just jump out of that conversation so your phone doesn't get blown up during the day. So, it's really very simple. When it comes to getting your oils, I will help you with that initial order. I'll talk you through it. I'll actually place it for you on the computer and process it right then and there. So it takes all the guesswork and that sort of thing. It's not a control issue, I promise you. It's just I've had things go awry. I've had people actually, I don't know, they don't enter my information and the order gives someone else credit like that. I've had all kinds of things go wrong, but the main thing is I just want to be an asset to you and to help you figure out the best thing for you and your family and your budget, and take all sorts of things into consideration. I do want to show you really quickly. I want to do a quick screen share. Just to talk to you about our bundles, and we do have a few bundles that are good to start with. Actually, I'm jumping ahead of myself. So, all right, let me back up. The 3 ways you can get essential oils from doTERRA is the first way is retail. But I don't let anybody pay retail because it's the most expensive way to get these oils. And, there's no sense in that. The second way to get the oils is wholesale. And this is kind of like having a Costco or Sam's card where you have an annual membership and you have access to the great prices. So that's how the account works with doTERRA as well. You pay $35 and you get a wholesale account that allows you to buy at 25% below retail. And that's the same discount I get, but that does not mean that does not make you a distributor with any expectations of selling or anything like that. It just means that you have your own account and you can order your products at 25% off whenever you want. The third option is even better because it's actually below retail. Because you are new, doTERRA gives you a chance to get a collection of oils at a cheaper than wholesale price. And it's a really good way. I think it's nice to start out with a collection of oils, just so you have some different things to play with and different things to try out and experiment with, So let's say pain is your thing. But if you have a bundle that also allows you to deal with pain and, let's say, anxious feelings, even better. So I can talk to you about those as well. And if you get a bundle, you don't have to pay that $35 fee, and it still gets you the wholesale account for the whole year. So now I'm going to show you those bundles really quick.
Hey, Jen, while you bring that up, there's a
Yeah.
question in the chat from Shannon
Yeah.
about how long do you let a diffuser run at night, particularly in the kids' room? You just turn it on and walk away and it shuts off when it's out of use.
Yes, that's a very good question. So the diffusers, you can set them to run just a straight blast, or you can set them on intermittent, and they can usually run from 4 hours if you have them just going, full time, to 5 hours to 10 hours. Some run even longer, but they all will shut off when the diffuser becomes empty. It has an automatic shut off. So it's not like you're not really going to overdo it if you let it run all night long, because it's off and on throughout the night. So does that clarify a little
Does that
bit?
answer your question, Shannon?
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
Thanks, Jen.
No problem. So these are our the most popular kits. We have some that are bigger, but hardly anybody ever. I'm just sticking with the most popular ones here. We have the Healthy Start Kit, which these are all oils that I've talked about tonight, and it comes with a diffuser. These are going to be smaller bottles. They're the 5 ml bottles like this. as opposed to the 15 ml bottles. But it's as you can see, it's a savings of $25. And if you were to buy those everything individually, and it is a very nice little diffuser to start out with. It's our Brevi diffuser. Our Healthy Habits, and the price on the Healthy Start kit is $160, and that does give you a wholesale account for an entire year. We have the Healthy Habits kit, which it has the frankincense, lemon, On Guard, lavender, and balance. It has the deep blue rub. It has the vitamins that I've talked to you about, along with those digestive aids, the Terrazyme and the PB Assist. And if you're not taking a vitamin, that is a great one to start with. Then we have our Healthy Essentials, which has I love this kit because it has the adaptive and the Copaiba.
We're still on your first screen, Jen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I think the slide just didn't change. It still says Healthy Start.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let me see. Stop screen share. And now let me do it again. Okay, this is the one. This is the one that I was saying was a good one. Are you seeing this right here?
Yep, we got it. Healthy Habits.
This is the one with the vitamins, the digestive aids, and the balance, lavender, On Guard, lemon, excuse me, it's fuzzy on my tongue, and frankincense, and the deep blue rub for your aches and your pains. And then I have two more real quick. The Healthy Essentials. Are you seeing Healthy Essentials?
Yep.
Okay. And this is, I love because it does have the On Guard, has the Copaiba, the adaptive, the digestin, the balance. It's got some majorly good anti-stress, anxiety oils. Plus you got the pain, the digestive, the immunity, the respiratory. It's a good collection, and it has a little bit more of a souped up diffuser, our petal diffuser.
I have that one.
Yes.
I love that one. And I put it on in the morning, and you see it has the time settings. It just goes and goes. And
I think they've even improved it since you got yours, Tori.
Yeah, I see that, but
recently
it works great.
It'll run up to 12 hours.
Yep.
And I think they originally just ran up to maybe 4, 8. I can't remember.
I think mine at work, I took it to work. It goes for 8. I just turn it on when I get there, and at the end of the day, it's done.
It's done. So it'll pretty much it would get you through the night. 8 hours is about good, but 12 hours it's even better.
I wish I was sleeping for 12 hours.
Right?
That'd be awesome.
Me too. And then our one last one is our Simple Solutions kit. And there we go. And it has our deep blue rub, On Guard, lemon, and serenity. And this is a kit if you kind of want to personalize it. This is a good one to start with because it's got some good basics, and then you can add a couple oils to it, like if you wanted to get the Copaiba or the adaptive or something like that.
Or the peppermint, just saying.
Yeah. So, and it's $105. So these are all, they're much better deals than if you were to buy these individually. And then, so that's basically it. And I just want to, and I think the quiz has been posted, but I'll share the link to the quiz and another post in our group after I get off here, just to make sure everybody sees it. And then I just want to close with telling you why I want to teach people about essential oils. So the reason is, and it won't be any big surprise, it's my family, it's my husband and my 3 boys. So my husband works, he works like, not by choice, but he just has an extremely stressful, demanding job. And he works 12-hour days and very rarely gets a day off. But he never, so his immunity, you'd have to be compromised. He's always stressed. He's not getting enough sleep, but he never gets sick, ever. And so he uses the On Guard. He doesn't use it every single day, but if he feels a tickle coming on his throat, he'll drop a few drops back there, and then it's done. And with my 3 boys, when we were living in Buffalo, our first winter there, we had the worst experience with strep throat that we've ever had. I mean, they used to always get it. We never could go through a winter without them getting it. But our first winter in Pendleton was awful. And I kid you not, I made 12 sick visits with my boys, throughout that cold and flu season. And they just kept passing it back and forth. And yes, I was using my On Guard, but I learned shortly after that horrible winter that I wasn't being proactive enough. I was using the On Guard after they got sick
Reactively, yeah.
instead of being proactive with it. So like I said, once school started, I started diffusing. I would before they got on the school bus, before they left the house, I'd put a drop on the bottom of their back of their hand. They'd lick it off. I don't recommend you, unless you've built up to that. It's very, very spicy.
I've tried that. It's very spicy.
Very spicy. You got to build up to it. But they're used to it. And still now, now I drive them to school in the morning, but before they get out of the car, they get that drop of On Guard on their hand. And so I was very proactive. And then that next winter, we had 2 sick visits all winter long, and it wasn't anything super serious at all. So major game changer for us. And, talking about reducing the stress load, because having sick children, how stressful that can be. So anyway, so that was, my life-changing oil, and one thing led to another. And overall, they are life-changing, and is if you use them. So I love teaching people how to use them and live a more natural lifestyle and be healthier. So I would love to help anybody who wants, needs some help with getting some oils. And I'm a no pressure kind of person. I'm more about educating. So I'll just leave it at that. But I thank you all so much for being with me tonight. And I hope to have a chance to interact with you a little bit. And thank you. Thank you, Tori.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. Like I said in the chat, I'm so glad we could come together, and like Shannon Morris down there on the bottom, I think I've only seen Shannon probably 4 times in person in my life, and she's just a sweetheart. And I think she put in the group thing that her best friend Greg married my best friend Gina, and so we've all kind of come together that way. But she obviously doesn't live nearby. And Shannon and Sarah are from Scouts, and Jen and I met through Scouts, and I'm just thrilled that you guys could be here and learn from Jen. I know I've learned a lot from her, and I can't say that I'm religious about it. I should be. That's the lesson. Because the oils that I do use, I use a lot. The ones that I haven't used, I was like feverishly taking notes over here, because I have the book that Jen held up, but I loaned it to my mother, which now she still has it. But we all have these things, as Jen said, these aches, these pains, these everyday, things we have to deal with. And the older I get, the more of them I have.
Oh.
I keep thinking, man, I'm falling apart. But there's an oil for that, is the answer. And I'm reinvigorated to go back to because I got the starter kit. It's not even one of the kits that Jen showed, but I started out with a starter kit with this array of things, and I found the ones that I use a lot. And then I have the ones that I barely touched that now I think, oh yeah, I can use it for that. But anyways, I always learn so much from Jen when she talks about oils, and she has such a passion for them and such an enthusiasm. And this isn't just a side business for Jen. This isn't, as she was saying in her examples at the beginning, and I think Shannon and Sarah might have missed, this is the LuLaRoe of things. It's like took off and now it's everywhere, but it's not, leggings are not all LuLaRoes, and oils are not all doTERRAs. And it's important to find one that's a healthy choice, and it may cost more, but that's because it's meant to be in your body and it's certified to be that way. And to hear Jen talk about it just inspires me greatly. And I'm so glad you guys could all be here to hear her talk about them. and to learn from her. And she was so helpful for me when I went to place my order because I had total like, oh my God, I'm at the makeup counter, just like Jen. I'm like, I have no idea what any of this stuff is. This one looks pretty, or this one smells great, but I wouldn't know what to do. But Jen was very helpful in guiding me through that and helping me pick out a package that would work well for me to try them. And naysayers, right? There's a lot of naysayers out there who'll be like, what are you wasting your money on that for? But in the end, if it works for you, if it helps improve your life, it's totally worth it. And we all know this, right? We're all moms. We all go through these ups and downs, and we all have stress points and sleep issues and energy issues. And there's an oil for all of those things. And if it helps, it's totally worth it. And I know it's helped me. I know it's helped Jen, and I hope that it will help some of you. And as Jen said, she's a no pressure salesperson. So I don't think you should feel pressured, but you should feel encouraged and empowered, by the presentation that Jen gave. And hopefully you took away some things that will be helpful for you. And there's so much more out there. Jen just, scratched the surface. There's just so much in the doTERRA lineup, so many things you can do. I know she put up some diffuser blends and things like that in our party thing on Facebook. Check those out because it's amazing the combinations you can make with these things. And something like oregano that you think, I don't know if I'd ever use that one. But if you blend it with other things, all of a sudden it becomes very useful and you still get the properties and the values of it. Anyway, I'm babbling. But thank you guys, and I hope. I know there were a lot of other interested parties. I did hear from a few just before we were starting, that had things creep up, Jen, and they weren't able to join us. But I know you recorded the session, and you're going to make that available. When I hear back from them too, I'll do my best to keep you guys connected up with this group, obviously, and then with any folks that I hear from that couldn't make it tonight, so they can watch the recording back and reach out to you if they have any questions.
Perfect. And you reminded me of something I left out. Once you get your oils, you're put in a community. So you're not just left like, it's continuing education. And I'm not going to go away. I'm going to be your oils girl. I mean, you can reach out to me anytime. I'm getting texts all the time from people with questions, and, it's part of what I do. And I'm happy to answer those questions. So you're definitely not left alone. So I'll just end on that note.
Hey Jen, on your desk of goodies, do you still have a little pouch with the little vials in it? So for all of you Scout moms out there, here we are at a popcorn show and tell in front of Walmart. Who gets a headache? Me. And I'm like, oh God, I'm getting this horrible headache. And John's like, really? And she has this little thing on the belt, whips it out, and it's these teeny tiny little sample vials of oils. And I'm like, what is that? And that's how I learned that this is what she does. And she got out the peppermint oil. Bam. It was like, stopped the headache, because I knew, how you can feel a headache coming on. This was one of those. I used the peppermint oil and I was fine. And then Jim P, you guys know Jim, he had a migraine, and at the next event or some other Scout thing. And she's like, really? Because I've got this, and have him do this, and put this one under his tongue. That trick with the migraine, put this under his tongue and this on the roof of his mouth. And I tell Jim, and of course he's like, I don't know. I'm like, just try it, trust me. So he did it. Bam, he was better. It was like miraculous. It was so amazing. I just couldn't get over it. Transformational, just from Jen's little teeny little vials. Couldn't get over it. It was like, where does this come from? What is this magic?
Thank you for those testimonials.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I hope to have a chance to talk to everybody and help you out a little bit with getting some oils. Does anybody have any questions before we go?
Jen, can you diffuse any combination that you want, or like put any combination you want in rollers, or is it not really? Okay.
You don't have to worry about like a chemical reaction or
Yeah.
anything, nothing like that. Yeah. You might make some be like, ooh, what was I thinking putting those oils together? But that's the worst thing that can happen.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
and Do they still have the kids line, Jen, with the different scents?
We do. We have we still do have it. We have a whole line, and I'm missing one of them, but we have like a concentration blend, a courage blend, a digestive. I mean, not that the kids can't use the adult ones, and the adults can certainly use these, but these are just made with a little bit more of our more gentle oils, and they're oils that the aroma is going to appeal more to kids than the adult oils might.
They're fabulous. I smelled them. Jen had them, and I smelled them like, oh my gosh, I have to get them.
She froze up.
And the thing is that they support them, but there's one for, I think it's called Brave,
Yes.
that helps kids that are anxious or nervous or what's the right word? Shy. Like Ryan is like in a social setting, he's a little standoffish, but it just, without them even realizing it, just having a little bit of that on their hand or, you know, somewhere where they can smell it, it helps them. It's just amazing. And here is the one that I use all the time. It's, like I said, it's just an uplifting blend, and it's in a roller, and I just, you know, like you would perfume, I just wear it all the time, and it works great.
Try the cheer with some peppermint, Tori. That's one of my favorite things to diffuse.
Telling you,
It's a really good combo.
peppermint, the best. Peppermint and lemon. I don't know where I'd be.
Anybody else? All right. Well, I hope everybody has a really great night. And Tori, it was so good to see your face.
I know, you too. It's ridiculous. Never see anybody anymore. I mean, I see Shannon and Sarah, but I don't see the other Shannon. I don't see you. And when I went to do these invites, you guys, I stressed so much about how wide a net do I cast? And I don't know, but like I said, I just feel really passionate about it. And I don't, Jen does. And I just knew she had so much to share that I was just like, okay, I'm going down through everybody I could think of on my messenger list. I'm just gonna put it out there and see what comes back. And it was amazing the responses I got, like I said. So I think although not everybody could join this live event, that people are definitely interested, and you know, they'll come back to me with questions and feedback.
This just reminded me, I need to write down, so I have Shannon Morris and Sarah. Sarah, there were two Sarahs, weren't there? Was there another?
Yep,
Sarah?
this is Sarah Slatt that's with us, Slaght.
Okay.
Sarah Schick is the other one.
Okay. And then Shannon
It's Zawada,
Zabata.
Zawada.
Okay. All right. And was there anybody else that was on here?
I think that's it from the
Okay.
live event.
Sure, I didn't forget anybody. Okay, good. Well, you girls got 10 oil drops.
Yeah.
And the first person to fill out the quiz gets more, like 3 oil drops, and everybody else just gets 2. So hurry up.
Go.
Right, thanks, Jen. Thanks, Tori.
You bet. Thank you guys. Thanks so much for coming.
Yes, thanks everybody.
Shannon, be safe wherever you're driving down there.
It is raining, and we're trying to get home from my parents.
Oh boy. Well, thank you for joining while you're on the go. And Shannon Z, I hope the boys are enjoying their ice cream. I was watching.
Yeah, I'm coming over, Shannon.
Ooh, ice cream.
Harrison wiping out. Like that's why I was laughing hysterically at one point. It's been chaos here tonight. So, and now I'm doing lesson plans for tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I've enjoyed having some FaceTime with some adult women. It's been nice.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Give my best to the boys.
Same here. Thank you.
Thank you.
You too.
Devin's here. He goes, thank you. Bye.